Friendship forged in the crucible of the fight against imperialism, a partnership built on shared values and mutual respect. For 45 years, Zimbabwe and China have stood together, united in struggle, in development, and in the pursuit of a shared future in the new era. In the darkest days of Zimbabwe's fight for independence, China stood firmly with the people. China was amongst the first countries to provide training to Zimbabwe's freedom fighters in the 1960s, with President Mnangagwa among the cadres. The leader received his training at Nanjing Military School. Training, resources, and unwavering solidarity flowed from Beijing to the front lines of the liberation struggle, provided the lifeblood to execute the war, and it proved the difference. The Zimbabwe African National Liberation Army, ZANTLA forces, the military wing of the Zimbabwe African National Union, would emerge a fighting force alongside the other guerrilla wing, ZIPRA, of the Zimbabwe African People's Union. This was more than assistance. It was a bond of brotherhood against imperialism and oppression. When Zimbabwe triumphed in 1980, China was the first to extend a hand of friendship, establishing diplomatic relations immediately. This was no accident. It was a recognition of shared values, sovereignty, self-determination, and the right of all nations to chart their own destiny. Over the past 45 years, this China-Zimbabwe bond of friendship has only deepened. From high-level mutual visits to meeting under the umbrella of multilateral engagements, such as the Forum on China-African Cooperation, the signature framework of China's engagement with Africa. Zimbabwe and China have written a story of trust, cooperation, and mutual progress.
你是中国人民的老朋友、好朋友、真朋友，中金两国传统友谊深厚。
Beyond bilateral ties, Zimbabwe and China stood shoulder to shoulder in global forums. At the United Nations, the two nations championed a world free from Western hegemony, opposing illegal sanctions and defending the sovereignty of nations. In 2008, China voted a United Nations Security Council resolution targeting Zimbabwe, a bold stance against Western interference. In return, Zimbabwe remains a steadfast ally on China's core interests, firmly upholding the One China policy, rejecting separatistic agendas in Taiwan, Hong Kong, and Xinjiang. At the African Union and the Forum of Africa-China Cooperation, FORCAC, Zimbabwe and China push for a fairer global order, one where Africa has a permanent seat at the United Nations Security Council, and where development, not domination, guides international relations.
We are confident that this thrust will not only benefit your people, but impact the global south for a shared future for all mankind.
The Communist Party of China and ZANU-PF are more than political allies. They are sister parties, united in ideology and purpose. From governance exchanges to youth empowerment programs, their collaboration ensures that the spirit of liberation evolves into a blueprint of modernization. As Zimbabwe's ruling party, ZANU-PF looks to China's development model, transforming from a peasant society to an economic powerhouse. The lesson is clear. With unity, sovereignty, and smart partnerships, Zimbabwe too can rise. This had seen Zimbabwe and China cooperating on major development and infrastructure projects. From the fight against imperialism to the fight for development, Zimbabwe and China walk the same path. Whether in agriculture, mining, or technology, cooperation brings tangible benefits, proof that solidarity is more than just history. It is our future. In 2024, during the visit by President Mnangagwa to Beijing, the two sides signed several cooperation agreements, upgraded bilateral relations to a comprehensive strategic partnership of cooperation. China-Zimbabwe relations were certified at 5-star ironclad. As we mark 45 years of unbroken friendship, one truth stands clear. The journey that began yesteryear is continuing forth, and the two countries will walk side by side towards a common destiny and a community with a shared future.